Welcome back. We're with Cabell Rhode here with a smile on his face. Sunshine, not too hot now, since it's in the evening time shooting this interview with him, discussing the upcoming album, commercial album he's working on. And, that's where we left off was the whole process of producing, engineering, the whole album, what's his favorite song, and everything like that.
I basically had the answer that the album itself is my favorite thing. I I don't want to try to narrow it down like that. I think there's a couple of songs that will probably be more commercial than others, but I'm okay with that. I think at the end of the day, the craft has to come first and not viability. And that's kind of a difficult line to straddle because you got to stay true to yourself and you also got to find something that relates to people. But yeah, the album I think is really good. I think there's some songs in there like Everything that I think will relate to everyone, and then there's some songs that probably will relate to specific people, um, like the song about cancel culture.
And you talk about cancel culture. Now, you kind of, you got some situation that happened to you in the past, and so you know a little bit about the whole cancel culture, wokeness, or whatever you want to call it nowadays. Tell us a little bit of experience on your end dealing with all that.
Well, I could tell you from a local level, I've definitely had a lot of resistance to projects and things that I've done. When I was hosting the songwriter session, I had people threaten to come up and do harm to me and cancel the show. And when I was building momentum, they canceled it, stating that there wasn't enough interest in the show to move forward with it. So, I've certainly been there before on my local level where they've canceled me and they've went with somebody else that was doing what they wanted to do, more in along the lines of interpretation and that type of thing. Also fondly known as covers.
And you know a little bit about that, don't you?
Well, I think if they're done right, I think they can be meaningful. But I think if you're just doing them to do them
please people.
to please people or to just say that you're doing something, I don't. I put that in the same level of people that say that they got all these goals and ambitions, but they never make steps towards them. Oh, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go out there and do that. And then you say, well, what are you doing? Oh, well, I'm doing my same old, same old. I haven't contacted anybody. I'm working on this next big book, but I don't have any publishing lined up or anything like that. So, there's a lot of talk. And I equate that to the kind of the covers in a way because, cover people always talk saying, well, I'm doing all these covers to, pay for my craft so I can do original craft. And then you say, okay, well, where's your studio time at? What engineer have you worked with? And then it's always crickets after that.
Right. So yeah, I kind of ran into that myself. It's not, I had people tell me, well, we're trying to get our original done, and that's why we're doing all these covers. But yet, 2 years later, it's smoke and mirrors or whatever going on with her whole situation.
Right. Well, I think it's a lie that just
Right.
when you lie to yourself and lie to people, it just becomes a lie over time, and the lie becomes the reality. and it becomes so confusing that you don't know what the reality was in the first place. So they probably tell themselves that, and that's probably how they justify it in their mind. Oh, okay, well, I'm doing all this. Really, they're just doing it to really have something to do because, well, part of that's, people in the industry